All right, it's time for some Women's World Cup action talk. We saw the U.S. women's national team open up group play with a 3-0 victory over Vietnam. Now, their next test is against the Netherlands on Wednesday night. It's going to be much tougher, so let's preview the match. We're going to do that with Steph Savino. She's a former college standout at Siena, currently the head coach of Morris Elite in the USL W League. We talked after the victory over Vietnam. Now, we're going to talk with Steph again. Steph, how you doing?
Very good. How you doing?
Good. Good to have you back to talk some women's soccer here. Always good to do that. So let's start with this. Let's start with the next opponent for the U.S. That is the Netherlands. This was the United States opponent in the 2019 World Cup Finals. We know that they are a quality opponent. So, Steph, what makes the Dutch dangerous and what could be the most important match in group play for the U.S. women?
Yeah, definitely an important question. Definitely a big thought that we have to think about. A challenge is ahead of us. There's no doubt about that. And this challenge is very different from what we saw against match one with Vietnam. This roster has some experience and young talent, and that young talent is along the flank. Their wingbacks are speedy. They will create havoc in their attack. Very dangerous for us to manage. Separately, defensively, their back line may push up higher up the field, which causes all the attacking lines to get higher as well. This puts the U.S. under pressure. How can we get out? How can we manage that pressure is going to be a high-stress task for us to manage throughout 90 minutes. So we can only see what they do and how they press, but we certainly know that this is going to be very different from Vietnam.
Yeah, it's going to be much different indeed. And going back to that match against Vietnam, the U.S. blanked Vietnam, but there was a feeling among some that they didn't score enough goals. So do you think that Team USA needs to make changes to their attack against the Dutch, especially what you talked about, how their back line can play? Do you think that there will be changes to the attack for the U.S. women's national team?
Yeah, they certainly missed their chances. When reflecting on that match, it could have easily been 4-0 off Morgan's penalty. But with the lineup heading into match two, we'll see what Vlaco decides to do. He has talent. He has depth on the bench. There's a lot of heat with Julie Ertz right now, but I, for one, am a big fan of her. She gives us strength on and off the ball, grit, determination, everything you need for a really strong-minded individual on that pitch. We have Rose Lavelle. I know there's some injury concern there. Lynn Williams, a goal scorer in the NWSL. She's hungry. She loves to find the back of the net. So he might make a change or two, but what we do know for certain is that we need to find our 11 and we need to find it quickly as we head into the other matches too throughout the tournament.
All right, so the urgency there to find the 11 that is going to work for the U.S. All right, Steph, U.S. versus the Netherlands. Both teams won their opening match. They sit atop the Group E table. What are the keys in your eyes to USA getting their second straight win at the 2023 World Cup?
Yeah, I'll state the obvious. We need to finish our goal scoring opportunities. We know that we missed out on this in the Vietnam match, but the reality is that these goal scoring opportunities will come a bit less often than they did in the Vietnam match. Separately, if we get pressed, just like we expect, we need to move the ball quickly. Less touches on the ball, more chances for us to advance higher up through the thirds a bit quicker. And we know this U.S. has a winning mentality. So there's no if and or buts that we think it, but we need to stay composed on the pitch. If we find our runs, if we vary our attack, utilize our flank players to get those early crosses in and deliver the goal scoring opportunities that we need, that is going to be very needed in tonight's match.
All that will be needed. The U.S. does have that winning mentality. They are unbeaten in their last 10 matches. They will play the Netherlands 9 p.m. Wednesday night. I'll be tuned in. I know Steph will be as well to see what happens. Steph, we appreciate the insight. We'll do this again soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Enjoy the game.